All right, y'all. Welcome back to Taking Back the Block. I am your host, Ella, and this is Dr. K that we're back with.
Hey y'all. It's been
It's
a
been a
minute.
while.
Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a
Been a
rough minute,
while.
but we're here.
We are
We're
back.
thugging it out.
So, I wanted to discuss mentorship with education and just financial literacy.
Okay.
We brush on the topic a little bit, but I feel like we should go a little bit in depth. But
Okay.
I want to start off by asking, what was one habit you yourself as a mentor has had
Mhm.
to stop your mentees from constantly doing that was literally hindering them in life or just in general everything?
Stop believing the status quo.
Ooh,
A lot of times mentees see that, well, this person did that and this person did this. Well, what we have to understand is one cap does not fit all. It really doesn't. Everyone has different paths. Everyone has different purposes. Everyone have different
yeah.
responsibilities and we all cannot be the same. And as much as I would love to be Halle Berry, guess what ain't gonna be happening. I will never be Halle Berry. I'm always gonna be Dr. K, right? So we have to stop we have to stop focusing on what the status quo. Yes, it's great that, there are narratives and norms out there, but when we allow ourselves to stay in this little
It's like the
circle,
bubble.
yes, of what society says, okay, this is normal, this is abnormal, then we remain in that circle. Think outside the box. Think outside the status quo. Think outside norms. Be defiant in your thoughts. And when I say defiant, I'm not saying, to do crazy extreme things. I'm saying be defiant in no, you don't have to be a 9 to 5 person to be successful. You don't
Absolutely.
have to go to college and get that overwhelming degree, especially if you think that is not your thing. Because Dr. K has these amount of degrees, to be successful, you don't have to have these amount of degrees. You have to, you know, hold on to that one skill, that talent, that one purpose in yourself that you found
Absolutely.
to define your own success. You should not allow a status quo to define your success for you. So yeah,
I love
that's
that.
one habit.
And I can speak on that. I'm not good in class settings. I will agree with that 100%. I actually realize I fail a lot more in class settings.
Then
And
you
I
do. Yep.
think the more I do like discussions like this or just
Mhm.
talk to people who are older than me in general, and if
Mhm.
you show me something once or show me something twice, I
Yes.
get it. And I feel like
Right.
that's how I've grown in like my old age of 31, y'all. Don't say nothing. But
Right.
I feel like that's how I've grown. I don't really learn well in school, but I learn well outside of school. So you don't have to
Right.
feel like you have to be in that bubble. There's something for
Absolutely.
everyone,
Everyone.
literally.
Absolutely. Yes. Indeed. Absolutely
So,
agreed.
how in your field, I would say,
Mhm.
how can mentorship help people build stronger financial literacy? That's the biggest crime, I
Oh.
want to say. And not only my generation, not even the younger generation. I've seen Gen X, boomer generation. We've all struggled with this. So
Mhm.
how can we help build that?
So, what again, the status quo. Everybody sees, I mean, shit, if we're up to me and I could, I'd have 10 Lamborghinis parked out in the front yard. Okay, I'd have a green one, a pink one, a yellow one, a gold one, but it's not.
Can't do that right
We
now.
yeah, you just can't. I mean, I would like to, but you can't. The thing about it is we have to focus on need, okay?
Absolutely, yeah.
Need. When we turn on the TV, there is this gimmick and this gimmick and this ad and here get rich quick and here do this and here buy this house, your friends will love you for having it, here buy
Yeah.
this and here buy that. And we have to understand, you live in a society that is commerce driven. But you go back to your home where to your house, to your abode, wherever you lay your head at night,
Yeah.
and you look around and you say, okay, I have XYZ. Do I need 10
XYZ.
Lamborghinis
Yeah.
to be happy? Can I can I drive 10 Lamborghinis? In as much as I would like to, can I really do that? And you can't, right? So when it comes down to it, you have to tell yourself, I work a 9 to 5. I'm not successful as society defines
Depicts what successful
success,
is. Yes.
right? I'm successful in my own right because I come home, my bills are paid, I have a car that takes me from point A to B. There's food on the table.
Absolutely.
I'm not being repossessed. My health is okay. I guess again, the greatest scam is, paying towards a health insurance that you cannot use. However,
It's
I am
necessary.
successful to that. Right, right. Okay. And I have that. Where it comes to finances, we have to be able to understand we don't have to get everything we want. Okay.
Exactly.
People think financial literacy half the time is okay, setting up this spreadsheet and saying, okay, this is what I make, this goes into this budget, this goes into this budget, this goes into travel fund, this goes into savings, this go. No.
Mm-mm.
And that's great. But it is being literate enough to ask yourself, do I need this or do I want this? Is
Exactly.
this financial investment worthy? Will I be stressing over this credit card balance at the end of the month? Do I need this credit card even?
Facts.
Society,
Facts. I'm about to
seriously,
cancel one soon, guys.
right. Society tells us that we need credit cards, we need credit to survive. Matter of fact, it has allocated or assigned to us a number, a three
Yeah.
digit number that says how financial or financially literate we are. That is what society defines us by. But again, thinking outside that box, breaking that status quo, going outside those norms that says this is society, but guess what? This is me. I'm sorry. I'm emancipating myself from this, this, this hold, this bond, bound, a bondage of saying, yes, this is your number. It's almost like the Nazi camps. I'm gonna
Yeah.
assign you a number. Your number is 750. Okay, your number is 685. Oh, great. Your number is, and then we forget about that, or we know that and then we say, oh great, my number is 750, so guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to get this credit card, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get this because the banks trust me.
Yeah, it put
Okay.
that worth or that yeah, it does.
Yes. And we justify, we dignify those numbers added or assigned to us, that they prescribe to us by telling us your financial literacy is this. But in essence, it is not. It is understanding that, do we need this? No. In the military, something they would say is like, food, you've got food, air, and clothing. Everything else you respectfully request. Okay. So I've got food, I've got a car, I've got a job, I've got comfort. I'm going to take it on advisement whether I need a
Exactly.
$10,000 credit card or a $60,000 debt, just to say that I am
I made
part
it.
of this. Yes, I'm part of the society, and but that's what society sells us, and when it
It kills
sells that
me.
to us, yes, unfortunately, yeah.
Kills me. It really does. It's funny you mentioned that and it
Mhm,
might sound like we are
mhm.
picking on our kind, but I feel like we need to speak to people who look like me.
Yes.
Okay. I am tired of seeing our community
Oh
get
gosh.
upset because your friend is driving. For example, what's it called? A G-Wagon. And they can't fit in your circle because they're driving a Honda. Get your head out of your rear. It is ridiculous to depict your friendship on materialistic things that you can't even fit inside your grave, be it if you're
Right.
getting burnt or
If you can
buried or drowned.
exactly.
It does not
Exactly
matter.
that.
It
Or
really doesn't.
buried in a rubble somewhere that nobody will ever find you, or kidnapped. I mean, be realistic. It
Yeah.
won't. And you're absolutely right. And we do that a lot. We tend to associate ourselves with individuals who, in our mind, again, that society has told us, oh, look, they drive this. Oh, they live over there in this neighborhood, and they
Yeah.
okay. And
And don't get me wrong, it's good to want to live in a place with security. It's good to want to drive the fancy cars. But that doesn't mean you have to go in debt for it. It doesn't mean you
absolutely,
have to lose food the next day because of it.
because of it. Or it doesn't mean that you have to sacrifice your health. Now, I have to work
Yeah.
20 jobs. I have to work 180 hours a week just so I can maintain this
That lifestyle,
that lifestyle.
that
Why?
inconceivable lifestyle, mind you.
Indeed. I mean, and that's what I say. You know what? Great. You live in an apartment that's decent. And excuse me. And to think about it, what we have to ask ourselves is, does the area that we live in make our community unsafe, or the people that we are make our
Make our
communities
community unsafe.
unsafe?
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Okay? Because the community is just buildings and houses, right? And the corner shops. Now, the people that live in the society, we're selfish, we're self-centered, we're violent, we don't like each other. That's what make
That's
the
the problem.
communities unsafe. That's the problem. The community is just sitting, it's minding its own business until we move into it. And then, you know,
We
things
start
start
hating
changing.
Billy,
We
and
start,
Joe doesn't like me
right.
because I wore this, and
Hmm
it's
and Joe don't like me because I got a red car, and he figures in his mind red stands for MAGA, so now he don't like me and he don't
yeah,
like my.
it's
I didn't
yeah.
go. Okay, well then, Joe, I got a red car, I got a white car, and I got a yellow car. What do you want me to do? So yeah.
I love that. With financial literacy, what impact long term wise um does define like success and stability?
What
So I'm sorry, let me word it better. How does financial literacy impact long term success and stability?
again? If you understand the core, if you understand foundation, it's like building a house. If you decide that you're going to put plyboard or particle
Sheetrock.
board, that, thank you, as your foundation, well, guess what? Your house is not going to last. You're going to have termites. You're going to have, when it floods or when it rains, you're going to have mold and all of that. But if you invest in understanding, learning, reading what it takes to, put into the house. So if you, for financial literacy, if you allow yourself first to understand that in order to be successful, I cannot just wake up one morning and fly unless you win the lottery. Okay.
Exactly.
And that is one out of 199 million.
Yeah, I think it's like 1 in 1 million or so, or something like
Okay.
that.
There
Yeah.
we go. So unless that happens, you have to understand, you have to work. You have to you have to sacrifice. You have to make the effort. Selling drugs is not it.
No, it's
I mean,
not.
yeah, you're going to get some money, you're going to make some money, but then at what cost?
At what risks?
At what risks? Okay. So, financial literacy, again, understanding you can have great credit now. You can have that 750 credit, and then the bank is going to look at you as that number, right? And they're going to say, "Oh, great, you're worthy. I'm going to give you right off the bat, straight out of college. You got a job that's $80,000 a year. They give you straight out of college. Oh, we're going to open a line of credit for you, $250,000. Oh,
or
great.
worse, no
Or worse.
limit.
No limit, right? Then you go to the car lot. Oh, great. You've got great credit. You can take whatever car you want. Oh, great. I'm going to get that fancy new car that just came out. It's what? It's 70, 80, $90,000. Great. I got that. Plus that 250,000 line of credit. Well, you know what? While I'm at it, why don't I just buy a house over there? It's $400,000. But you keep in mind, you only make $80,000 a
And you're
year.
just compounding that debt that they love, mind
Yes.
you.
And then every month, the interest on each of those things equals your salary. Now, keep in mind, you still got to pay power, taxes, fuel, insurance,
That, yeah, the list goes on.
everything that it's a list. If you understand that basic foundation, I need food, air, and water, everything else is a complimentary. Everything else is luxury. And I'm not saying that you should be driving around in a 1975 Volkswagen. Of course,
Don't
those
hate
could
though.
be
They look
restored
really good
and really
restored.
really good. Exactly. But at the end of the day, it's about, do you want to be successful now, right now? Do you want to appear successful now,
Right now.
or do you want to be successful later, where you've taken the time, you've done one thing at a time? Future impact. Okay. 750. Oh, great. I've got a 750 credit. Well, the bank is offering me a line of credit. Look, is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this. I'm going to start a business, small business. I can do it from home. Whatever those skills and talents you have are,
Absolutely.
you translate that into business, income, revenue, consistent, right? And then you keep going. Of course, you're going to be doing it out of your one bedroom apartment or studio apartment because you just got out of
Yes,
college,
though.
but it
That's
doesn't
it.
matter because you are building that future financial success, not that now appearance of financial success. Okay. And those pretty things right now, that that fancy car, that house, oh, it is going to make you appear to be successful. But on
Absolutely.
that $80,000 salary a year, what you're going to have to do is get a part-time job after that,
Yep.
and then get a weekend job
Yep.
so you can maintain that.
And at
So you're
that point,
appearing
where is your rest? Where is
none.
your mental health? Where is your sanity? It's
Exactly.
non-existent.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And I hate the fact that we make a bit out of it. I've
Mhm.
seen a lot of comments, social media, just in person as
Mhm.
well, where people are like, I worked 100 hours this week. Or, well, I worked like 150. It's
Oh,
not a
go.
competition.
Wow. No.
Not a competition to how much you can literally kill yourself for someone else's company who's profiting off of you.
Exactly. Right. Talk about modern day slavery. Yes. And then the thing about it, you're doing it to yourself. You're volunteering
Yep.
to be a slave in this, to the economy because you want the appearance of success, not success, the
The
appearance
appearance
of
of it.
success. Yeah.
So, when mentorship comes into play, how can it help individuals overcome the fears or insecurities?
Of the appearance.
No, just financial literacy in general.
Oh, well, planning. One of the things that I always tell my students and my mentees is this. Yes, you're going through a lot now. I mean, a lot of times they have to do like an externship or an internship where they have to, it's unpaid, right?
Right,
But the way
yeah.
I put it, or the way I tell them, is this: you're getting experience from an industry expert. If you apply yourself now, imagine what that expert can talk about you to other fellows. And then once you're done, you're right in the field, right? I've had several students who got hired on their sites because of the way they applied themselves. Now, mind you, these are students who thought, well, I cannot give up my job because, oh my gosh, I make $14 an hour. I cannot afford. Okay, you make $14 an hour now, but you're externing at a facility that will pay you $22 an hour should you apply yourself. should you become the next role that they're looking for after your externship. So let's see. A couple of weeks of sacrifice, and I get it. You've got bills to
Yeah.
pay. You've got a family to feed. You know, your support system is mediocre at best. However, you have to ask yourself, future or now? Do I want to appear to be okay now, or do I want to be okay 10 weeks, 12 weeks from now? Do I
True.
really want to be okay? Again, appearance or actual? Okay. You know, reality or fiction?
Very true. I like that statement because at the end of the day, it will take you from that $14, realistically a whole year for your
Hmm.
company to even think about giving you a
A 50
15
cent raise.
cents or 25-cent raise.
Right.
And
Exactly.
you could have taken 3 weeks, four
Hmm.
weeks to just fly through just literally just watching someone show you the ropes. That's it.
Yeah. And just learning,
And coming out of
taking
it,
notes while you're at it.
it's basically school. You're
Oh, yeah.
going in there
Real
for
world school.
school, real
Hmm.
life, hands on
Hmm.
school for
Yep.
3 weeks.
Yep.
And then
That's
you
it.
get paid $20, $30.
And that's it. Yeah. Hmm.
Sometimes we have to think.
Yes.
And I stress
Sacrifice.
that on our black community. I really want to see us where the books depicted us back then.
Yes.
Royalty on that level where we are
Hmm.
using up here and not our behinds.
But you know, the funny thing about all of that is you hear a lot of colored, black people say that. Oh yes, we are queens and we are kings and all of that, and we're gonna get there. But then again, we're still stuck in that cycle of appearance.
Yeah.
We're stuck in the cycle of, well, I want to appear successful as opposed to I want to be successful. And very few will actually understand that and work towards it. Not be
Absolutely.
afraid to, you cannot be afraid to sacrifice
No.
something in order to, be actually successful. So we say that a lot, but then it was like, well, I'm not going to give up my job. Oh, no, I get paid $160,000 a year. Ain't no way. Mm-mm.
Let me tell y'all, I took a pay cut, y'all. I dropped my hours so quick because it made no sense
Half the time it
to
doesn't.
struggle for some company that
Hmm.
literally does not give two W's about you
Right. And
and
they don't
pay
know
you
you exist.
nothing.
Exactly. They don't know you exist. And if something were to happen to you, and I've seen it so many times. You get a diagnosis.
I've seen it with the funerals. They really
Mm-hmm.
drilled me. And I was like, that's unacceptable.
Yeah. As
There's a
soon as
death
you give them the diagnosis, the next question is there someone that you can train
or
while
can
you're
fill
gonna
in
be
for
out
you.
who can fill in for you? Oh, well,
Oh, sorry, that made me laugh. What do
okay.
you mean?
Sure. Oh, okay. I got you.
I
Sure.
literally said I was going to be gone for just 3 days, and you want me to train someone for 3 days.
Oh yeah.
Make it make sense.
Oh yeah. And that's what
Conditioned.
we're
Yeah.
yes. That's that status quo.
And I like the term modern slavery. And I know it's probably going to itch someone's skin, but let's be
Please, itch.
real.
I've got
We
lotion.
are in modern day slavery. Let's
We
just
are.
agree on
Hmm.
that. Let's
Let's
just
agree to
agree.
disagree here. It's a fact. Hmm.
So, how can mentors and mentorship should be a big part of everything, every single thing. I've realized
Indeed.
that now.
Hmm.
So, how can mentorship teach you the difference between actual wealth, what is your income, and what is freedom financially?
Well, people think freedom financially oftentimes is the ability to have all these to just have a bunch of zeros sitting in your bank account, right? One
Mm-mm.
It's not. Freedom financially is not being owned by the banks, not being owned by the car company, not being owned by the mortgage company, not wake waking up in the morning and then being told, well, I'm sorry, you went from a fixed to a variable. Oh, wait, when did I sign that? Oh, in that
Fine, fine print.
fine print, like all the way in section 65 of subsection
A, B, C.
220 in the, yes, that that's where it is. And it only says that because when we put that clause in there, when the economy is crashing, you have to help us stay afloat so we can be we can make profits, and we need to make the profits off of you. Okay, now that is them safeguarding their wealth.
Exactly.
Okay, these are organizations, companies safeguarding their wealth. Who's safeguarding your wealth? You're
Other poor
frozen.
people.
Oh, there
That's
you are.
who's doing it. Other poor
Yeah,
people. And it brings me to
indeed.
something
Hmm.
this lady said. It was like a phone interview. She called into this web radio station, and she was just in tears,
Uh-oh. Mm.
distraught, just all over the place. And she was like, "When will we ever stop being the the tier?" I can't remember how she said it, but it's like there's the lower class, the poor class, middle class. She was like,
The cheers.
when is it going to be time for the rich to actually work and assist the poor class? She was like, why is it that the poor have to continuously bail out the rich and not the poor? And
Because we we choose to.
yeah,
We choose to. Again, understanding financial literacy and separating that wealth factor. They are rich because we keep buying the cars. We keep wanting to have those credit cards with no limits and continuously pay those interests. We keep falling for the gimmicks. Buy this and it will make you this. Well, guess what? This is making you this, but it's also making you poor. And it's making
mhm,
them rich because every time you decide that you don't want this version, they have an upgrade. Why is
exactly.
it there's always an upgrade of something? Well, no, I don't want this anymore. I'm going to get the upgraded version. I'm going to get the next version. And you can't save because every time you decide that you're going to save, there is something better they're showing you and telling you so they can generate
More income
that
from you.
you can spend what you're getting. So now you have $80,000 a year, a $250,000 house, and $60,000 car, a $250,000 credit limit that you've decided that they said, you work so hard and all of that. You should use your credit card to go on vacation. So you've booked your trip to the Maldives. You've decided that you're going to get your hotel, everything
Yeah.
on that $250,000 credit card. And then when you come back, still got to pay the mortgage,
Yeah.
still got to pay the car note, still got to pay the power, so we're the, the when it is going to happen is when we decide that
Enough
enough
is
is
enough.
enough. We are
Exactly.
no longer going to we're going to be literate enough to understand that financial literacy is about self, you know, self-serving. Unfortunately, serving you, using your own money to serve you. There's no reason
Absolutely.
why you cannot have a 9 to 5 and you don't need a credit card. Let's be real. Let's break it down. Why do you need a credit card? Emergencies. Okay, emergencies. What kind of emergency would you need a $250,000 credit card for? Heart transplant? Okay. Kidney transplant? Well, you got to be on the list.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Car accident. Well, that's why you have insurance. Make sure it's up to date. Make sure you have the correct insurance. So if you have 80,000, if you make $80,000 a year, you bring in at least what? 48, $4,900 every 2 weeks. Let's say mm, yeah, $4,000 every 2 weeks.
Roughly.
Roughly, give or take. But still, you fresh out of college, your apartment, okay, you live in a studio. Yes, I know studio apartments are expensive these days. Apartments are expensive, $2,000. Okay, great. let's say your apartment is $2,000. Okay, that's already half of your first deposit, into your bank account. But that's $2,000. Your car note is $400. Okay, so $2,400. You've got 4,000. Your car note, your apartment, you pay that on the first. Then you take the other, what's left over, which is about 1,600. You put 1,000 of that in savings. You keep $600 for your internet, your phone, which shouldn't be more than $75.
Literally should not be more than. In
Seven.
fact, there are way too many phone deals right now for service.
Exactly. To Okay. So you
Yeah.
you you catch the drift, right?
Yeah.
So let's just say you want to be fancy and get all the data plans and all this roaming stuff. You go $75 a month. Okay, great. $75 a month. Fuel is expensive these days. I saw it for 49. Oh Lord, yo,
Ooh.
I'm about to get me a bicycle. Take wherever I go.
At this
'Cause this
point, I'm
is
not even
insane.
mad. Elon might get me. Shoot, he might see me in a
I know.
Tesla. I'm not even.
Right. But then you still got to pay for charging unless you have a charging thing
It's
at home
like
and you go
it's
long distances.
$40 a month. That's
It's
it.
Oh, really?
Yes, and literally, I have been calculating this
The
so
charging to
badly
charge it?
because I'm like,
Hmm.
we have a friend who has one, and he's like, I just spent $40, and the only thing I do is tire rotations. I barely spend anything. I'm like, oh, I really don't like this guy, but I'm interested in electric now.
Wow. I know, right? Michelle drives a whole bunch. But so 449, it costs you about $70 to fill your tank. So you need to fill up twice a week at least. So that's $140. Okay. 140 plus 75. That puts you to two. You still have $1,000. You still have $800. You still have $700 that you can buy groceries, pay your power, pay your water. Okay, everything is going up. So you'd say at least you need $200 for that. That still leaves you with $500 that you can keep in your pocket. Why would you need a credit card? You've already
Facts.
saved $500. Now, if that $600, $500 you have in your pocket, you can still put another $200 in savings because you get paid in 2 weeks anyways. You buy groceries, all you have to do is cook something at home. There's no need to go out and make somebody else famous rich and eat some burnt steak or dry steak or undercooked steak and oversalted potatoes at a restaurant because you feel you want to have the appearance of success.
Success. Yeah, that got me real good this week. I am never eating food in Lawrenceville in my area ever again.
Yeah.
I was so sad. So sad. It
See,
was just
you paid
unsavory. Oh,
$150 for a dinner for two.
shame.
$150. Let me see. You had steak or shrimp. Mm,
Yeah.
Okay, a cut of steak. Okay, you want to get prime stuff. Okay, fine. You go to Whole Foods. It's gonna be a little, but it's not gonna be hundred fifty
You don't even
dollars.
need to do that. Go to the butcher's. Here's the
Go to the
secret
butcher.
with meat, guys. Stop buying from the stores.
Go to the
Go to
butcher.
the
There you
butcher.
go. You get it at a lower pay.
You
Taxes
really
at a
do.
Absolutely, right? So you get that. You go to the grocery store, you get a whatever, you want to make some gnocchi, you want to make some
Yeah,
seasoned rice, a bag of rice. You get a 25-pound bag of rice for 18.99, $20.
that should
That's
last
going
you
to
for
last you
months.
for exactly. So why would you need to have a credit card?
There is no need, but society has brainwashed us
Exactly.
into
The status
believing
quo, the
that
norm.
credit
Oh yeah,
is
I'll put it on my
necessary.
credit. Yes. Yes, absolutely.
But then you see the rich who pay in what?
Cash. And if
Cash.
they don't have cash, they don't buy anything.
Exactly,
The only
guys.
lines of credit they have are the businesses that they open with. They purchase a
Absolutely.
building to start a business. Then once they start generating revenue, their first year, that building's already paid off.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, guess what you're still doing? Buying the product, going in there, paying for the food that tastes horrible. It's made
yeah.
with no love. You paid $150.
That
I
was
I
my
kid you
joke.
not. There's
That was
there
my
is no
joke. There was no love in it.
no love. There's no grandma saying, "All right, stop the seasoning. All right, hold up," to flavor the food, right? You paid $150 for that.
Yeah.
That 150 goes right into their bankroll. Now, mind you, there's 10 of you in there at the same time with a line of 20 people waiting,
Yeah.
plus drinks and everything else. Okay. So at the end of the night, they've already rolled in at least $10,000
And
and you
here's the thing,
$150.
because I know people like hearing things like that and they twist it. But the thing
Oh,
is,
go
no
for it.
one's telling you to
Not,
not
not at
enjoy
all.
yourself. No one's telling you not to go
Not
eat
at
out.
all. Nobody's
The
saying that.
problem is, you do it so consistently, you
Mm-hmm.
can't even afford to save.
Exactly.
That's what
And
we're saying.
say, right, and not just that, you're saying, we're saying, well, who says I can't travel? Or who says I, no, nobody's
No
saying
one's
that.
telling you that.
No one's telling you not to travel. No one's saying not to have fun. But then if you're going to argue that, then please don't argue that the rich is getting richer and the poor
And
is
poor is
getting
getting poorer.
poorer. And then we have class in society. We have class in society because you keep creating, adding, and
To the
sustaining
classism.
the classes that exist in society. And that's just bottom line.
Facts. Factual. There's like no denying that. It's through the ages, throughout
Yep.
time.
Hmm.
It's just perpetual and
It's
consistent. It's
despicable.
sadly it's human nature,
Yes,
unfortunately.
unfortunately, yes, human nature, and for that reason, ever since I could remember, I'd have to keep my mouth shut. I've got people putting their hands over my mouth because you cannot say those things.
But it's
Why?
in due time you have to at some point,
Yes,
honestly.
at some point you have to, because it becomes frustrating, especially when when our own people become our worst enemy because we tell them the truth and try to hold them accountable for our our inability to be successful collectively. That becomes a problem. So yeah, sometimes at some point you just have to go, well,
Just blow the hat off.
whatever.
So in your field, because I always make the joke, I have known this lovely lady for a while now, y'all, and she has been in school since I've been alive. And that's my running bit every time I talk about her.
Oh
So
Lord.
in your field, how does financial literacy influence like career decisions and opportunities? Even in your experience, like how has it influenced the careers you've chosen?
Yes. So it, finance, or financial stability, believe it or not, has not been the primary factor for me being in healthcare or even education. I tell people all the time, if I wanted to
Nice.
be rich, I would not be an educator. I would
No.
be something else because
Yeah.
education has, I mean, let's be real.
Regretfully, there's no wealth in education. I'm sorry I
Exactly.
said it. There
There
is
is not. There isn't. You have to be you have to be passionate about the things that we're talking about right now. Being able to empower people, being able to empower others so they can go on and change the status quo, change norms, redefine norms, start thinking outside the box so those classes
yeah.
can start dismantling. But in healthcare, on the other hand, healthcare is a very lucrative, financially, stable, financial stable field. Here's the thing: it requires a lot of work. It requires a lot of education. It requires a
Yes.
lot of learning. It requires a lot of patience. It requires a lot of sacrifice on your emotional, physical, and mental self.
Yes.
Um, and because of that, I think that's where the revenue for being in healthcare is the financial stability, if you will, or that long-term financial impact is most rewarding. But it doesn't just happen. It You have to it's gradual. You have to work into it. Let's think of, for example, an individual who's a nurse. They become an go through, get their LPN or they aren't. They start at $80,000 and then they work on to get that BSN, and then they go up 90, 150, 180, and then they become an MSN, and they
250 and it just builds.
that's
Yeah.
great. It builds, but again, think of the sacrifices that comes with it.
Yeah.
So in healthcare, um I tell people, if you want to be in healthcare, my personal perspective, you have to be passionate about people. Don't go
Yes.
into healthcare just because you want to make money. Yes, you will make the money, especially if you are passionate about people,
Yeah.
because you will get the referrals, you will get the recommendations, you will, people will not want to see you live. They will, oh, you're not living, you're staying.
Yeah.
I mean, where is it? I have. It's funny. I was thinking about it the other day because someone was asking me, how many people have you taught, Dr. K? And I'm thinking, that's a big
Respectfully,
number. I
a
don't
lot.
know. So, but I was going through, some of the uh, cards and emails and messages that I got from students over time. And one stood out in 2014 when I was leaving this school institution that I was at. They were
Wow.
shutting down, and a student, he left me a card, and it said, um, "You may leave, but the legend remains."
Oh,
Right?
that's
And then
sick.
I was just like, okay. But yeah, again, it's when we talk about financial stability, or that sort of thing, those things come, but you have to be passionate about
Yeah,
people. You have to be passionate about healing. You have to be passionate, and you have to be prepared to be uncomfortable,
very.
um, because, yeah,
You will see a lot in
you
any
will see a
field
lot,
of
you will
the
hear a lot
healthcare
when it comes to,
umbrella.
oh, yes, indeed, you will
Yeah.
get called names. I mean, I had students, Miss Taylor. Yes, I had students walk out of my class. And then at the end of the semester, send me along. I know, I'm sorry for all of this. I know as a knucklehead, but you stayed with me through it all, that kind of thing. And those things are rewarding. Um, and that's not for everyone. But if in healthcare, if you want to be successful, that passion, you have to be as broad as the city of New York, as firm as, France.
The
And
state of Texas. Yeah, you really
yes,
do.
you really do. And education and academia. You have to, because you have to stand your ground. Especially now with this kind of students we have coming into the
Yeah.
college system. Oh Lord.
I pray for
No
all
accountability.
education educators.
No accountability. No, I can think for myself. No, I will take responsibility or accountability for my actions. No, it's all entitlement. Well, yeah, no, no, sweetheart. I cannot, I'm not just going to give you a degree. You
Mm.
have to earn it. You have to earn it. Well, I think I deserve, well, I mean,
Why do you deserve it? Let's start
that,
there.
let's start with, why do
Because
you
at
deserve it?
my age of 90, when I reach there, I don't need someone who doesn't know how to put an IV in me.
That,
I don't need someone who doesn't know how to take my blood pressure. I
that.
don't need
Not to forget
someone
about 90 right
who looks at
now
my pills and
and
is
tells me that
confused.
oxycodone is, no, let's forget about it.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
You
Hmm.
can't hand things out. And that's funny because they used to put that label on my generation, which I'm like half and half. I'm millennial and I'm like Gen Z. And they really put that label on us where, they just handed everything out. But the more I speak to people, the more I see we really were the bread and butter, guys. We were literally the last hope of,
Yeah.
of this generation.
That is true. Absolutely. I mean, when you look at millennials, anybody born in 90, let's say 94, 1990 to
Yeah,
2001, that
that's
is
it.
that.
That
I
was
mean,
it. That's the
I mean,
last hope.
yeah, that was. I mean, those are the individuals. Anybody after that is entitlement, and unless you raise your child or your
Yeah.
children with that, mentality of Gen X and
Yeah.
all of that, then outside of that, no.
And it's not blaming anyone. It's
No,
it's
not at all. It's
technically society's fault.
society.
I
Again,
feel like
status quo.
elect just technology on a whole
Mhm.
advanced way too much for us
Mhm.
as humans to understand.
Yes.
And therefore we lost what we're talking about today, mentorship. We lost that. We
Mhm.
lost final literature
Yeah.
literacy. We
Mhm.
lost the will to actually be educated. We
Yeah.
lost the will, if you're not like a person that does well in school, trades, we lost
Yeah.
all of that. We
We did.
lost the
Yes.
will to just want to benefit ourselves, and
Mhm.
basically what we're trying to say. It's a
Yes.
lost cause
Yes.
in society today.
Mm-hmm.
It's sad.
Indeed. It is unfortunate. And if we don't do something about it right now, we're FUBAR.
I like that term, fubar.
We're
That's a new one.
yes. Oh, I can't say what it actually means.
Quick text.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I'm
So
sending you to.
I want to jump into this one question because
Hmm.
we've been heavily on financial literacy. So,
Yes.
what are healthy ways to teach money responsibility without making them feel shameful about it? We've talked about the fair aspect, but a lot of people are shameful when they don't know how to save, when they don't know how to portion their funds, or not even funds only, just learning.
Well, yeah, that you're asking the wrong person that question
Yeah.
because I have no, and I'll tell you, everybody knows. Look, I'm just going to tell it like it is, because there is no reason to be ashamed of your actions. If you're going to be ashamed of your actions, then don't do it. If it's something you think you're going to be ashamed of, then I mean, come on, it's not rocket science.
Fact.
Don't do it. Stand with your chest out. If you do something, own it. And that is the problem we have with society. Okay? We we always like to sugarcoat things.
Yeah.
Be nice. Be nice. Well, okay, I'm going to be respectful, okay? I'm
Yeah.
going to be kind, but I'm not going to be dishonest about something that it is going to cause you or cost you even grief. You have to tell it like it is. Look, this is where you're going to head if and when you continue trying to live $1 million lifestyle on a peasant budget. Okay? It ain't
Yeah.
going to work. It's not going to happen. So,
Yeah.
this is what you have to do. You have to stop eating out every week. Stop buying everything that pops up on your screen. Stop, stop, stop. Okay?
Simple.
And start focusing on 5 years from now. What do you want to see financially for you? Do you still want a $250,000 credit limit, which right now, 4 years from now, you will probably have a 230,000 balance that is going to take you 30 years to pay off?
Yeah.
Okay. Then, do you still want that um, $80,000 car? Then that $400,000 house? And you still want $80,000 a year. So, mind you, you're going to have to refinance at some point because you cannot realistically,
Afford these things.
you can't while eating out, traveling to Maldives and all this others. You can't. You
Mm.
can't. It's just not feasible. You have to be able to understand that there are some things that you just cannot do. I'm not a
Facts.
go outer, right? I like being at home. I'm a homebody. And so if I go on vacation, it's once a year, twice
Facts.
max.
Facts, y'all.
If depending on where the options to go are this
Facts.
year. Okay? And that's a fact. Some years I won't go anywhere.
Facts.
And but there is no reason for that because maybe that year I've got a son in college that I've got to take care of. Okay. So I'm not going to sacrifice his education because I decide, well, you know what? This year I want to go to Italy. I want to go to Greece. I want to go to France. Oh, great. Let's see. Cost $1,800 per person. Hotel. Now that's one ticket. Okay. Hotel. No,
What?
I kid you not. And okay, if you're going to France or Italy or Greece, you're not going for a weekend. You're going for at least
No.
7 to 10 days. Okay, so 10-day hotel is that's going to put you again at another $3,000 for a hotel. So that's already
Jeez.
$4,800. Okay, plus food because you're not going to bring your kitchen with you. Yes, you
No.
can get an Airbnb or a place where you can purchase groceries and but then you want to do tours and then you want to go sightseeing and you want to do all of that. So this is where we have to stop and say, do I need a vacation this year? Do I need to go out of the country for a vacation?
Facts.
Or can I just get in a car, drive my butt down to the beach one weekend,
And call it a
have a
day.
margarita or two, Uber back home, pick up my car tomorrow when I'm sober?
Exactly.
That is a
Exactly.
vacation. Or do I just sit out in the backyard, open up the grill, throw some chicken or beef or steak on there, and pop some bottles and chill and ask my friends and family to come
Want to
over
come
and we're going
over?
to
Yeah.
chill and just don't burn down the house? And why can't that be a vacation?
And I'm glad you mentioned that because we
Mm.
definitely have lost that.
Mhm.
The I don't even know how to word it properly, but it's the will to just be at home. Okay? Just
Yeah,
be at a home.
the complacence. Look, home is home. Why do I have to spend why do I have to make Air France 1836
Of of
$4200
of course. Yeah.
off of one family?
Yeah.
Okay. Why do I have to make the Hilton group a hotel $3,000 off of one family? Now,
Yeah.
mind you, for this entire trip, that's $7,000, $7,200, and that's just for one trip, 10 days, 7 to 10 days, and that's cheap, mind you. I'm going on the lower scale here.
Yeah.
That is providing you never eat out, you never do any of that. Okay, so that is the thing. We have to start thinking of, do I need a vacation every year? No. Last year,
No.
our vacation was driving down to Florida and just going to a beach in Florida.
Yeah.
And that was pretty cost effective. Only $800 the entire
Let me
trip.
tell you, I love my home
Okay.
vacation. I'm about to set up the backyard. I will never leave the backyard.
The backyard, and there's nothing wrong with that. Put up a little, that's what I've been doing.
Never
Because,
leaving it.
yes, sometimes again, culture, you want to
Yeah.
travel, you want to do those things. But you have to ask yourself, do I need it
Or do
or
I
do I
want it?
want it? Now, if I want it, can I afford it?
Exactly.
Okay. What does my number look like? What does society, what number has society or the economy has attached to me as a person? Is my number 750, 749, 685, 650? What is my number? And based on that number, do I really want or do I really need to add $10,000
Hmm.
to my name in credit so my number can drop 10 points and only raise 3 points after I've paid it off?
Speak the truth. Oh my gosh, I hate that.
Because that's what happens.
The worst system they could have ever built
Financial,
here.
yeah, again, financial literacy is not about just having zeros, bankrolls. It's about understanding. The bank sees you as a number. The mortgage holder sees you as a number. That number represents your financial credibility. Okay.
Hmm.
And if you're 750, oh, yes, they will give it to you, but they will give it to you with condition. They own you for the next 30 years.
Hmm.
And that is just a fact.
Yeah.
And you don't own anything.
No.
And in 30 years, it's time to retire. And what do you have?
Absolutely nothing.
Not a damn thing.
Shameful.
Yeah. So,
So I always like doing like a wrap up question. It's
mhm.
probably like my favorite thing. So, in your opinion, what does true financial empowerment look like to you?
True financial empowerment to me is not being owned by a company whose CEO will never know your name.
Yeah.
Bottom line. Um, I'm not saying don't go out and buy a house. Understand that. But you have to ask yourself, do you want a house or do you need a house? And if you say you need it, can you afford it safely? Can you afford it while making yourself comfortable? Okay. And some people deserve to buy. Again, if your assigned societal financial bank number is 750, then great. You can afford a house, especially if you're reeling in $200,000 a year. You can afford that house,
Hmm.
but let it stop there. because what you can do at that point is you are financially free. You
Yeah.
don't have you don't have a car note, you don't have anything else but that mortgage. So all you have to do, they tell you that every month you only need to pay $1,800.
Yeah.
Great. That's what you do. You make $5,000 every 2 weeks. Okay. So instead, you pay your $1,800 and then you add to that base. You add
Mhm.
another $1,500 to that. Okay. Because that's all you got to pay, and your insurance and your phone and buy food and the internet and the power. You
Yeah.
have enough to put an extra $1,500 down. And that cuts it. So that is financial freedom. Okay. Being able to financially afford the things you just not want, but need.
Exactly.
You don't need a trip to Egypt. Yes, it would be great to go to Egypt
No,
to
thank
see the
you.
pyramids. However, ask yourself, am I financially able to afford, without going into debt, a trip to Egypt right now? And if I cannot, then I don't need
Need
it.
it. Exactly.
Okay. If it has to, financial freedom, if something has to put you in debt, you don't need it. And that's just
Mm-mm.
bottom line. That's that for me, to me, that's what it means. Being able
100%
to
so.
survive, not just survive, but live my life without going into debt, without being owned by something or someone or
Mhm.
a corporation or organization. That's what financial freedom is to me.
Absolutely. I that's the goal, honestly, and I hope that's the goal for everyone. Is
Hmm.
just being able to not necessarily take days off, but just have the days.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes,
Have the days
indeed.
if I want to go touch some grass in the
I'm
backyard or
gonna go
just in the
touch grass in the
neighborhood.
backyard. Yes.
Have days off to start. I know a lot of people are trending now doing like their farm life at home. Just having the day to do that. Like
Yes, absolutely.
that's the freedom. Breathing
Mhm.
fresh air.
Mhm. But not saying
Yeah,
that you can't, because you know what? I got this to pay and that to pay and that to pay. Now I got to take 6 jobs just to do it. So I cannot. So I have a house with a beautiful backyard that I cannot appreciate
exactly.
because I'm working 20 jobs to pay it off because I was, you know, not financially literate back in the day. I didn't understand that I didn't need it. I only wanted it. And now
Yeah,
my number kept going down and down and
down and
down.
down.
And then my interest rate started going up and up and up.
Yeah.
And because that interest rate went up and up and up, this 250,000 credit limit they gave me, now I owe $375,000.
Yeah.
That's going to take me about 150 years to pay off. My great grandkids going to be paying it off for me when I'm
Well,
gone.
that's the downside.
Yes, pretty much.
Well, y'all, I'm very, very happy we could meet up again today
Yes.
for taking back the block. I will be back with
Next
more
week.
questions next week.
All right.
Hopefully, you guys comment, tag.
Yes,
Hopefully, someone out there sees this though, and it does make their day better. You
indeed.
don't have to follow the status quo. It actually sucks doing
No,
that.
you don't. Be defiant. Be Harriet. Break the damn rules. Break
Bye.
the rules. Bye.